Let's go.
All right. So, show notes. I want to talk about what the show notes are, and also give a shout out to our really talented web developer, Alex. So, I'll share this screen. Here we go. Oh, I see. Let me stop this screen and I'll share. I wish that StreamYard could let you queue up multiple different screen sharing windows.
Yeah.
But anyway, here it goes. So at the end of the show, we put together some post-processing notes. And remember in our What's New review segment, we've been giving, we can go over an article like high memory instances, SageMaker pipelines, local testing. And then I kind of summarize what Raul and I talk about. So again, this is episode 16. We talked about these huge, what were the name of these instances? The 112x large with the 12 terabytes of RAM.
I think these were the X2Es or the new X2 instances.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's right. So this is what episode 16 looks like. We have our article, our summary of the discussion, our number of clouds out of 5, and our verdict. Remember, we talk about
simplify whether the announcement actually simplifies the message or it just adds complexity, or the complexity alert that you see on the SageMaker pipelines local testing. I mean, that one still gets me. I still don't understand why they have local testing.
I really like the we could have added a lot of different variables to this, but I really like just the rating, and also does it simplify your life or does it complicate your life? So how do we get to this point from the show? So I'm going to go back to my ClickUp view for a second, and I'm going to show you what a completed show looks like. All right, give me a second here to swap screens. Share, I'll go back.
Stephen, you need the ultra wide. You really need the LG ultra wide.
Oh, possibly.
By the way, we were just talking about this before the show, about screen real estate needed.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, normally I'm not zoomed in this far, but all right, okay. So here is, let's go back to episode 16, which we just saw. So here's episode 16, and we talk about our segment view. Here's the ratings that we give it. Here's the articles out of 5. Here's the URL. And I like this view, but of course not everyone uses the same tool, and I have to be aware of that. Our designer, Alex, he wants a Google Doc that he can then turn into this blog post. So the way we do that is we have an automation. So I'll show how this gets hooked up. In our stream automation here, we have a live one of these is, here we go. When status changes from recorded to processed, then let's call the create show notes Lambda. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's basically, okay. When recorded to processed, then call the create show notes Lambda. And then what that does is it will, okay, so let's.
And this is a Lambda URL, right?
Yes, this is deployed.
This is Lambda function.
Yeah. So let me go. I need to stop my share of this and share the browser. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's our Lambda function. And all it does is it gets that parent stream task, looks up all of the segments associated with it, looks up a certain field called description. It looks up the discrete fields of the rating and the number of stars. And then it will populate a Google Doc, which looks like this, with this table. So I can show how that works. I know Alex has already picked this one up, so I don't have to, I'm not breaking his workflow. Now, if I'm back in ClickUp now, and I'm going to switch this workflow I'll switch it to recorded, and then I'll switch it to, I think it's from ready to recorded. Here we go. And that should trigger the automation, and this should start populating in a second. Let me double check. I think it was ready to. It's recorded to process. So it's in recorded state, and then I need to advance it to post process. There we go. And this should start populating in a second.
I was going to say that we haven't made offerings to the demo gods.
Oh gosh, let's see if it does it. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it is. It's kind of cool seeing a Google document just kind of fill in. It's giving our URL, our ratings. There it is. So that was just based on that Lambda function trigger. And so I guess the takeaway from this automation is that one of the cool things, it's really nice to have one tool where everyone can visit. But you also have to work, you don't want to break other people's processes. And so by using automation, we can then say, okay, we need a Google, I have this structured way. Our web guy, he wants a Google Doc. All right, here we go. We can make it for him really easily. And it has this nice table. It's all powered by this one really simple Lambda function, which again, all it does is get the parent task, get all the segments, and then it runs this populate Google Doc on the parent task and the list of segments and the Google Doc ID, which is also built into the ClickUp task. So it looks like our demo gods, we have one favor with them. So that's how we do our show notes. And so it's really nice because again, earlier in the flow, I'd forget to do this step, and it's a lot of duplicate information. And so again, with that programming principle, don't repeat yourself.
Don't repeat yourself.
Yeah. Right. So I thought I'd rather not have to do this twice when I've already got all the data nicely structured. So that is how we create our show notes. All right.
Excellent.
Cool. Well, let's see. Should we go on to anything else to say about this one?
No, I think these days, there's one other aspect that I want to actually talk about, which is, as you can see, the more of these services or API that we use, it actually makes our lives so much easier. There are a lot of folks who still, try to do stuff on-prem, and there's just real benefit to having platforms like AWS and also like, Google's entire, we use Google Docs and stuff all the time. So it's really beneficial to have all of that. They have core API that are available to use and automate a whole lot of stuff that can make your life easy. So yeah, that's the big bet you really want to make.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really nice just having this big, even though from a programmer's perspective, it used to be fun to write the whole system yourself, but now thinking I really don't want to have to, I want to use other people's workflows, other people's code, and be able to just integrate it together in a really kind of cohesive way and focus on what my task is, which is, delivering this live stream, keeping it organized, making sure we can disseminate the information as efficiently as we can.
Yeah.
All right.
Completely agree.
Well, let's switch over to the next segment, which is going to be using Comprehend. All right, we'll take a quick break.
This is probably going to be one of my favorite parts of this show today.
All right, well, we'll take a 20-second break, and then we'll be back for Comprehend. Here comes.
Public cloud costs going up and your AWS bill growing without the right cost controls? CloudFix saves you 10 to 20% on your AWS bill by focusing on AWS recommended fixes that are 100% safe with zero downtime and zero degradation in performance. The best part? With your approval, CloudFix finds and implements AWS fixes to help you run more efficiently. Visit cloudfix.com for a free savings assessment.